Listen to me very carefully because what I'm about to show you is not supposed to be on camera right now. It's 6 p.m. Eastern Time on a Friday evening, and I just got off a call with someone inside the Treasury Department who is absolutely losing their mind. They made me promise not to use their name, but they said something that made my blood run cold. By Monday morning, Americans won't recognize their own country. I didn't believe them at first. I thought it was another conspiracy theory, another fear-mongering rumor. Then I pulled up the live feeds from JFK Airport in New York, LAX in Los Angeles, and O'Hare in Chicago. What I saw made me physically sick. These airports should be packed right now. Friday evening is peak international travel time. Business executives flying home, tourists arriving for weekend trips, cargo planes moving billions of dollars in goods. Instead, I'm looking at terminals that look like something out of a post-apocalyptic movie. Empty, silent, dead. And it gets worse. 72 hours ago, something started happening in Europe that nobody in Washington took seriously. A TikTok trend in Denmark called Bye Bye USA, where Danish teenagers were filming themselves, canceling their Disney Plus subscriptions and pouring Coca-Cola down the drain. The State Department laughed it off. Kids being kids, they said. Those kids just crashed the American economy. What started as a meme has turned into the fastest moving economic collapse in modern history. I'm not exaggerating. In the past 72 hours, international flight bookings to the United States have dropped 90%. Not 9%, not 19%. 90%. European dock workers in Rotterdam and Hamburg are physically refusing to unload American cargo ships. They're not striking. They're not asking for more money. They're simply saying, we're not touching American goods anymore. And here's the part that should terrify every single person watching this video right now. Chinese consumers, the people who buy more iPhones than any other country on earth, are live streaming themselves, throwing brand new iPhones into garbage bins. These videos have 500 million views and counting. Apple stock dropped another 14% in after-hours trading today. Tesla is down 16%, Microsoft down 11%. Wall Street is in absolute freefall, and the worst part? The markets don't even open again until Monday morning. We have an entire weekend for this panic to spread. I've been covering economics and politics for 15 years. I've seen crashes. I've seen corrections. I've seen bear markets. I have never seen anything move this fast. Usually, economic crises take months to develop, weeks to accelerate, and days to hit the breaking point. This happened in 72 hours. 72. And if you're sitting there thinking, this doesn't affect me, I don't care about international trade, then you need to understand something right now. Your local Walmart will have empty shelves by Wednesday. Your medication might not arrive next month. Your job might disappear by next Friday. This isn't happening somewhere else. This is happening to you. Let me explain exactly how this nightmare started, because the timeline is absolutely insane. Sunday afternoon, the president sent out what his staff is now calling the fatal tweet. He called European leaders vassals and told them they exist to serve American interests. Not diplomatic language, not carefully worded political speak. He literally used the word vassals, like we're living in medieval times. The European Union ambassadors walked out of a NATO meeting in Brussels within an hour. France, Germany, Spain, Italy. They recalled their ambassadors to Washington for urgent consultations. That's diplomat speak for we're about to do something drastic. But that wasn't the breaking point. Monday morning, a video leaked from Minneapolis. I'm not going to show it because it's too graphic, but if you've been online today, you've probably already seen it. A nurse named Sarah Jenkins was shot during a protest. The footage has been viewed over 2 billion times globally. 2 billion. That video destroyed whatever goodwill America had left. By Monday evening, the boycott had a name, Make America Go Away. It started trending in Copenhagen, jumped to Paris by Tuesday morning, hit Tokyo and Seoul by Tuesday night, and landed in South America by Wednesday. This isn't your typical boycott where a few activists stop buying something. This is a full-spectrum economic isolation event. French cafes in Paris are putting handwritten signs in their windows. No American products served here. Videos of French citizens returning Levi's jeans and Nike sneakers are going mega viral on TikTok. The hashtag Sans Amerique, without America, is the #1 trend in the entire Eurozone right now. South Korea and Japan, countries we literally have military alliances with, have turned corporate warfare into an art form. Samsung stores in Seoul launched midnight sales offering to trade any iPhone for a Galaxy phone at 70% off. Their marketing slogan? Switch to stability, switch to respect. The cool factor of America, the thing that made everyone around the world want our movies, our music, our fashion, our technology, it's gone. Completely evaporated in 72 hours. Goldman Sachs issued an emergency analyst note this afternoon that I managed to get my hands on. They're estimating that if this boycott continues for just 1 month, it will cost the American economy $500 billion. That's billion with a B. If it lasts 3 months, their internal models are showing a depression-level event that makes 2008 look like a minor hiccup. But here's the truly scary part that nobody's talking about yet. The International Transport Workers Federation held an emergency vote in London yesterday. 20 million transport workers across the globe voted to implement what they are calling constructive delays on all American cargo. That's not a strike. That's something much more dangerous. Dock workers in Rotterdam are now thoroughly inspecting every single container from America. Inspections that normally take 5 minutes are now taking 2 days. American soybeans, cars, machinery, sitting on wet docks, rotting and rusting. The supply chain is choking to death. Now here's where this story gets absolutely wild, and I need you to understand that I'm risking a lot by telling you this. A source at the Financial Times leaked information to me about a secret video conference call that happened yesterday afternoon. The participants? The CEOs of the 50 biggest companies on planet Earth. Unilever, Nestle, Toyota, Siemens, LVMH, HSBC, and every major global bank you can think of. The topic of the call was 2 words: de-risking America. Let that sink in for a second. The biggest corporations in the world held a secret meeting to discuss treating America like a risky investment. According to the leaked transcript, the CEO of a major German automaker said, and I quote, "We cannot rely on a market where the president threatens to seize assets, where the bond market is broken, and where the government shoots nurses. We must pivot to Asia and South America immediately." They agreed to what they're calling a silent withdrawal. No press releases, no announcements, no headlines that would trigger presidential rage tweets. Just a quiet, systematic shifting of investment capital away from the United States. Factories planned for Ohio, canceled. Research and development centers in California, moving to Toronto. Inventory in American warehouses, being reduced by 40%. This is how an economy dies. Not with a bang, but with a whisper. And where is the president during all of this? According to multiple sources inside the West Wing, he's absolutely spiraling. He spent this morning trying to call Emmanuel Macron in France and Keir Starmer in the UK. He wants to cut a deal. He's apparently willing to drop the Greenland annexation threats. He's willing to drop tariffs. He just wants them to make a statement asking their citizens to stop the boycott. But here's the beautiful, terrifying irony. They're not taking his calls. The Élysée Palace in France issued a 1-sentence statement. The president is currently traveling and unavailable. Downing Street in London said, the Prime Minister stands by the joint statement. There's nothing to discuss until the rhetoric changes. They're ghosting the President of the United States. They can smell the desperation. They know he's trapped. And they're waiting for him to completely break. Meanwhile, Elon Musk, who was supposedly one of the president's biggest supporters, posted a cryptic image on X this morning. A sinking ship with one word: abandon. If Musk turns on the administration, the entire tech right ecosystem turns too. The crypto bros, the Silicon Valley libertarians, the online influencer army, they all follow Musk. And get this, the tech CEOs had an emergency meeting at the White House today. But according to my source, they weren't there to support the president. They were there to deliver an ultimatum. Fix this crisis in 48 hours, or we're pulling our support and letting the market crash. The people who control the algorithms, the platforms, the information flow, they're ready to pull the plug. All right, we need to talk about the thing that has economists literally unable to sleep right now. The BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are holding an emergency session right now as I'm recording this. And the topic on the table is the financial nuclear option, dumping the US dollar as the global reserve currency. For decades, this was just a theory that conspiracy people talked about. Today, it's a legitimate survival strategy for the rest of the world. Think about it from their perspective. The US economy is paralyzed by boycotts. The government is politically unstable. Rule of law is breaking down. And the president is threatening to seize foreign assets. Why would you keep your money in dollars? China and Saudi Arabia are in active negotiations right now to price oil in yuan or gold instead of dollars. If that happens, the dollar collapses overnight. Hyperinflation hits America. Your savings become worthless. Your pension evaporates. Your retirement plans disappear. This is not a hypothetical anymore. This is happening in real time. And here's what nobody is saying out loud. There are 9 million Americans living overseas right now, and they're becoming the first casualties of this boycott. Americans in Paris are being refused service at restaurants. Americans in Tokyo are being asked to leave their apartments by landlords who don't want problems. US credit cards are being declined at European merchants. Not because of fraud, because the merchants are choosing not to accept them. These Americans are flooding US embassies begging for help. But the embassies are paralyzed because of the diplomatic freeze. The government has effectively abandoned its own citizens overseas. Their horror stories are flooding social media, and it's adding rocket fuel to the anger back home. Back here in the United States, panic buying started this afternoon. People are rushing stores for toilet paper, medicine, electronics, car parts. The just-in-time supply chain cannot handle this surge. By Monday, shelves will be empty. And when Americans can't buy what they want, they blame the president. Always. Several states are now opening their own diplomatic back channels. California and New York governors are talking directly to EU officials, saying, "Don't boycott us. We're not part of this mess." We're watching the fragmentation of American foreign policy in real time. If the federal government can't protect trade, the states will cut their own deals to survive. This is how empires end, not with war, not with invasion, but with isolation, economic suffocation, and internal collapse. So what happens? Monday morning, when the markets open at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, nobody knows. And that uncertainty is more terrifying than any crash. If you're watching this video, do 3 things right now. 1, share this everywhere, because people need to know what's coming. 2, prepare yourself financially for what might be the worst week in American economic history. And 3, stay liquid, stay informed, and stay safe. The next 72 hours will determine if America survives this crisis or if we just witnessed the beginning of the end of the American century. This is real, this is happening, and Monday is coming.